Hi folks, Junkie Rock 13 here. Everything vaping related, and on my YouTube channel, it's Junkie Rock 13. My name is Ross Sanders, and I'm here bringing you another review of the Cyclone Genesis style Atomizer version 2. I've never seen version 1, but this is version 2. This is a inverted Genesis Atomizer, and it's a very nice design, a little bit different. A member of the Ukvapers by the name of Roke 1986 sells these, and you have to join a list. I'll leave a link of that down below. But let's take a quick look at it. And this is going to be a little bit longer video, so I'm sorry, just stay tuned. But at the end of this video, I will be having the contest results of the 18650 Eagle that I held. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get back to everybody, but I've been having some technical issues, and my sound was not syncing up with the video, so hopefully this is going to work good. But let's take a quicker look at the Cyclone version 2 and see what it's all about. Alrighty folks, here is the making of the wick for the Cyclone, and then I will show you how to put it all together. So you'll notice that the Cyclone template for the wick is kind of an odd shape. It's not a regular rectangle, but the maker of the Cyclone came up with this template, and it seems to be working really well. So I cut a piece of cardboard out just to keep it, so I can always trim the stainless steel to get this. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to show you the 400 mesh stainless steel. Let me just pull out the camera a little bit. Now when I make my wick, what I like to do is on the side with the short cut, I like to take about I don't know, 1/8 of an inch maybe, and just fold it over a little bit and crease it with my fingernail. Now I learned that from I Get You 69, Scott's videos. He does a very extensive video on how to make stainless steel wicks, and I got most of my information from him. If you want to check out his videos, he is very informative. So once I fold over that gives me a nice clean edge on the outside of the wick, so there's no little fray of stainless steel, little strings hanging off the end over here, so it will be causing shorts or anything. So once I have that folded over, I take a flattened out paper clip, and I like to put it up a little bit and fold over my stainless steel mesh. And what I like to do is just roll it down a little bit. When I roll it down, it gives that little bend to it. Once I roll it down, and I just roll it up like a cigarette. Now you have to make sure, it's kind of weird because of the shape, that you roll up straight. I know it's gonna go at an angle, so you want to make sure that you are doing it straight. Now once I get it all the way up to the top, or completely rolled up, I just continue to tighten it up around the paper clip. The paper clip seems to be a good guide for the size of the wick that is needed. I tighten it all up a lot. Now what I like to do when I'm tightening this up is I like to pull outward, like stretch it outward. When you're doing that, seems to like stretch out the wick, and it seems to wick the juice a lot better. That's pretty good. So you'll notice now with the paper clip there, it gives a nice little tube in there. And this wick is a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones, you have the same amount of mesh here as you do here and here. Well, this is a little bit different. This gives it a little more flimsy, and that is going to be needed a little bit. So what I like to do now is just tighten this up a little bit. You still got that tube in there, and the paper clip should fit there still. Okay? And that's going to be needed in the future. So now I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to get my propane torch all set up. Now I just have a regular propane torch here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light this right here. I'm going to pull this off to the side and light it. Just to show to the video. And I have my little cup of water. Grab my wick. Okay, here we go, folks. Now what I like to do to oxidize my wick, I like to start in the middle and turn it a little bit, get it red, move it down, get it nice and red. And then drop it in to the water. Let me just get a paper towel here. Okay. Now we'll do the other side. And we're going to do this 3 times, heating and quenching. Okay. Put the excess onto the paper towel and do the other side again, the side that we started out with. So this is number 2 for that side. Okay. And now we'll do this side. Oh, a little piece of paper towel on there. Spin it a little bit. I believe this is number 2 on this side. Okay. Paper towel, take out the excess. And number 3 on this side. And number 3 on the left side, this will be the last time. Get it nice and red. Work down to the end. And good deal. Alright, so let me turn off this torch. Put this off to the side. And here you go, folks. Take this water away. Dry that up. Alrighty, folks. There's what it looks like. Nice and dark. Still got a little water left in it. But if you notice, this really works well. It's very easy. A lot of people use this. I've seen people even use the stove but it's not really that hard to heat it 3 times and dip it in some water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some juice. Oh, my Kiss lighter. One of the last lighters I had laying around. Okay, and what I like to do is take, oh wait a minute, let me see. Okay, this is my coil side. Now when you wrap like that, you'll notice that the nice flat end is not going to fray out over there. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see that on the video, but I'll just take some juice, shake it up. I just got some 18 milligram Bourbon Street vanilla. And what I like to do is just put some juice soak it pretty good, and take a lighter. Light it up. Got my fan going, so it's going to be harder to light. Wonderful. Okay, folks. There she goes. Okay, that's going to burn off the juice. And once we burn off that coating, we're going to take another juice layer, put it on there. And what this does is builds up a nice coating, so when you're wrapping it with the coil, it doesn't get any contact with this real stainless steel. But by heating and quenching it with the torch and putting some of this coating of juice on here, it seems to work very well. There has been some people saying they just heat and quench it and they don't even do the layer of juice. But whatever works for you, that is the right way. Okay, now this is the third time I'm doing this, so there we go, folks. There is a fully oxidized wick. Alrighty. So I'm going to keep this paper clip here because I am going to be using that real soon. Now, I'm going to be pulling in the Cyclone. And let me just put down these pieces. Oh, got a piece of hair. Oh. Just rinsed them off nice. Okay, folks. Let me just move them over here. Okay, well, what we're going to do is start off with the bottom. The bottom piece is the 510 connector. Now this is made out of stainless steel, and there's a floating positive post in it. You can see that, and that actually puts up the little platform in here. This can be adjusted. This cannot come out, by the way, but this can be adjusted. Oops, there we go. This can be adjusted by the positive post on the next portion that goes on here. And you'll notice the little brass screw in there, a little flathead, and you see the positive post coming down through the center of it. That will actually, the more you tighten it down, the more it pushes down, but then you can also loosen it up to make it push down more, to push down the post more. Okay, there's a little threading on here. The one thing I don't like about this part is when you remove the Cyclone from the mod you are using, sometimes this is left behind. But as for that, but other than that, it works very fine. I like the little floating positive post, so you don't have to pull the post on there. Well, the next part right here that goes on the top of this, which connects to there, is where your posts are. Okay, now this is your negative post, which is a little Phillips head screw, and there's a little hole in the center there. That little hole in the center on the Teflon there is a nice little hole that I like to put the, now the wick don't go in there, but I like to line it up with the paper clip through the center of the wick, and that's how I line it up. Other than that, your positive post has a little washer in there, and a little post that goes on the outside of this screw. And then what goes on top of that is your little air vented hole, little dome cover here. You can see like the center hole there is where the wick is going to go up and into the tank, and then you'll notice the 4 air holes. Now the 4 air holes are on the top of these threading here, and this is what is going to be sending the vapor up and around the tank and in to the top cylinder and out of the mouthpiece. This is a unique piece. It's got like a little dome shape. They say it's the Cyclone because there's a cyclone effect in there. That's what I heard. So little Teflon piece in there. Seems to be very solid, no melting in there. And then you have a stainless steel tank, which is going to be placed right on here. Well, let me put this together real quick. The stainless steel tank goes right over this O-ring right here. But I have had some issues with the stainless steel tank. A lot of condensation builds up on the outside, and I was having problems wicking. I think it's because it's so stiff. It wasn't given enough motion for, or enough little air to get the juice to feed down onto the wick. But I talked to Perot, and he is now going to be selling them with a plastic tank. So what he told me to do is use a 3mm bottle, and what I've been doing is taking it and cutting off. This is just a 3mm juice bottle, and taking it and just cutting off the top portion right there. And now you have a plastic tank. I didn't clean that up very well. Probably even made it worse. Okay, but there's the plastic tank that I have been using, and it just goes right over. The first time you put it on, you want to put it on without juice. It goes right over the O-ring. Make sure you cut a straight line. That one wasn't that straight. And there you go, you got a tank now, a plastic tank. And with a little squeezing, you could feed it down onto the wick, but and there's no condensation left on these. I already have one filled up right here, so I'll be setting this off to the side. And then the top cylinder portion. This will be going on the outside of the tank, and the vent holes will allow the vapor to come up through on the outside of the tank and into the top. And a nice little stainless steel mouthpiece will go on the top that comes with it. I believe you can put any 510 mouthpiece on there, but I like this mouthpiece. It looks really nice on there and it works very good. Now that is the Cyclone fully assembled. So let me put the wick and I'll wrap a coil. Okay, let me see what side is the bottom. Okay, this is the bottom port right there. Okay. Alrighty, folks. I'll push it out through the bottom, the paper clip, so I can put it in that little hole there and hold it down. set this down right there. Grab my little piece of Canthol. I just have a regular 32 A1 grade Canthol. What I like to do before I use it is just take a lighter and get a little red all the way, run it all the way down. That fan is really blowing the flame around. Okay. Okay, let me do down here. Okay. That seems to make it a little bit easier to bend. And some people have said that they've gotten weird flavors out of some of the Canthol or the nichrome, and by doing that it doesn't allow you to get that flavor, or that taste I should say. Now I'm going to grab my screwdriver, because I will be needing that to tighten up the posts. And before I put the wick in there, I'm actually going to take this and just bend it once around the paper clip, so then you have something like that. Okay, what I like to do with that, loosen up my negative post, take this, put it around the negative post, and you want to bring it right towards the positive post, the part that you're going to be wicking. So then tighten up the negative. All the way down. Take the one that you're going to be working with, bend it straight up, then take the excess and just give it a little tension, little turns, and I'll give it a nice clean cut. Okay, well, the reason why I like bending it straight up, because when I put the wick in there, you kind of want, make sure the wick is all the way down, you kind of want this to start going up to wrap. If you have it come out straight, sometimes it gets caught under the bottom of the wick. So now this, you have to pay attention. You want to make sure that the wick is all the way down towards the bottom. Pull this in between the positive post and around the wick. Try to keep the wick as straight up as possible, and start wrapping it. Now you don't want to wrap it too tight, but you don't want to wrap it too loose. I like to wrap it around 4 times. God bless you out there. Okay. I will wrap it one more time. Push that down. Okay. Now what I like to do is complete wrapping it all the way around. Make sure the positive post is loose. And where I like to put it is right in between the washer and that little flat bottom piece right there. Okay. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Okay. No, I didn't make it. Only on video. There we go. Then you want to bring it right back towards the wick and give it a little snug pull. You need 3 hands to do this one sometimes. And then you want to tighten up the wick. But you want to make sure, you want to tighten up the coil, excuse me. You want to make sure that the wick does not pull towards you when you're tightening it up. Give it a nice tight turn. And you take the excess and just give it a little turn. Okay, I think I tightened that a little bit too much because it pulled it tight right around. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now what you want to do is take a toothpick. Because if you use metal, like a little dental tool, you might scratch the wick and the oxidation off of it. Alright, now what I'm going to do is pull out the paper clip. And folks, there is a Cyclone wrapped wick. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mod. I'm going to put it on the Uranus. Put a couple drips of juice on there. And let's hope we don't have no shorts. Let me make sure that that is not touching. No, there we go. Alright, folks. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Here we go. Folks, it looks good. And look at the vapor coming off that bad boy. No glowing spots. I think we did well. Alrighty. I'm going to set that right there. Now I'm going to step up for a second and grab my tank that is filled up. And I'm going to hold it right here for a second. But now what I want to do is, while I'm looking down the center of that hole right there, I want to line up the wick, push it on very gentle, and screw it on. Okay, so now you have the wick coming right out of there. But you're not done yet. If you notice, this plastic tank, it's going to be hitting the top of that wick. So what you want to do is grab a pair of scissors, which are right here. Okay. Whoa. And let me see where that is. Let me put the stainless steel on there. Alrighty, I can see it. And what you want to do is just cut off a little portion. Okay, now I cut it at an angle, but what I like to do is straighten it out. Now if you are having over wicking problems, if it's flooding, you might want to pinch that, and sometimes when you pinch it, it doesn't allow the juice to go down the center of the tube, but I haven't had that issue. Now putting a tank of juice on, you want to take your mod and flip it upside down and point it downward and just push in to the tank of juice. Now when you pull it back up, it will wick. It'll wick the juice down right onto the wick and into the coil. I always give it a little, just a little squeeze the first time, and take the top piece and put it right on. Give it a nice little tighten up. So folks, there is the Cyclone version 2. Fully wick, wrapped coil, and let's see how it vapes. Alrighty folks, so there you have it, the Cyclone version 2, up close and personal. And I know there's been several members out there that have shown how to make the wicks, how to oxidize them. Maybe my way isn't right for everyone, but it works perfect for me. That wick and coil went flawlessly. I didn't have to mess with it, no hot spots, and it's wicking very well. This device has been a little picky. You just gotta get it right. It took me a little while to get the wick right. I was using a regular rectangle one, and then I did some research on the computer and I found out that there was an actual template. Now the template, I was a little confused. I didn't know which way to put it on there. I guess you just have to try to figure it out, what is best for you. I noticed that the side that you wrap with this side, with the little side, this end is going to be where your coil goes. Okay, now I have had no issues with this template wick. It works very well. It vapes very well, and I'm very happy with it. The first couple wicks, first 4 or 5 wicks I put in here, I couldn't get it right. It wasn't wicking right. I was getting hot spots. My other Genesis atomizers weren't doing this, but this one really did, and it was really bothering me. But I got this, and it's working great now. Let me show you how it vapes. Throat hit is great. Flavor is phenomenal. Vapor is great. The condensation that I was getting with the stainless steel tank in there, I had to wipe it down with a paper towel several times a day. But with this plastic tank in there, it's been working great. I don't even have to wipe it down anymore. I really, really, really like this atomizer now. I didn't at first, I'll be honest with you. I was planning on selling it. I actually contacted the seller, and I told him, I can't get it working. He said, try the plastic tank. Once I tried the plastic tank and I changed my wick over to the template wick, it's been working great. So if you do have one of these and you're fiddling around too much and you can't get it, watch the video, see how I wrapped it, and it's been working good for me. So give it a try. I love the inverted Genesis tank system. You don't have to tip it like this while you're vaping, like this, like that, which I don't mind with my other Genesis models, but this is very nice. I can vape it like this. It's really nice. It looks very good on the Uranus. It's a nice, solid design. It almost looks like a hybrid. But check them out. This is the Cyclone version 2. This video is running really, really long. I want to try to cut it short because right now I am going to put up the contest winner. And please, if you won, get in contact with me via email. My email address is rosssanders13@gmail.com. There'll be it down in the bottom. And if you didn't win, please stay tuned. I'm going to be giving a lot more giveaways. And I thank everybody that joined or that subscribed and everybody that commented on the Ego video. And I thank everybody for watching my videos. I think that's all I have for right now. But check out the device and stay tuned for the contest. Thank you, and keep vaping. Okay, folks, excuse me. So here we go with the contest for the 18650 Ego T mod, and I will ship that right out to you, the winner, as soon as I receive your shipping information, and you will get that to me via my email address, which will be down below, but it is rosssanders13@gmail.com. Okay, here are all the names that entered the contest. And I want to thank every one of you for entering. And please stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more videos. So if you're not the winner, keep trying. I will be giving away a lot more stuff. This was just my first one, and I just wanted to see how everybody liked it. Here we go. The number 1 position of the randomized choice will be the winner, and the winner is Simkov 1. SIMKOV number 1. Right there. So Simkov 1, please get in contact with me via my email, and I will send that Ego 18650 right out to you. Congratulations to Simkov, and thank you all for winning for entering. And please remember, keep vaping and be good to one another. Thank you.